On paper, this book should have been an absolute slam dunk, a guaranteed #1 with a bullet bestseller. I mean, you've got Reese Witherspoon, the powerhouse behind one of the biggest book clubs on the planet, teaming up with Harlan Coben, who is, let's be honest, the undisputed king of the modern thriller. But the result? A novel called Gone Before Goodbye? Well, it wasn't the universal smash hit everyone expected. Nope. Instead, it became one of the most polarizing thrillers of the year. So what on earth happened? Let's dig into the mystery of Gone Before Goodbye. So on one side, you have these glowing 5-star reviews. Critics and readers were calling it a masterclass in suspense. This review right here from That Happy Reader praised it as this perfect fusion, loving its cinematic feel and the real emotional depth of the characters. It sounded like exactly the kind of blockbuster everyone was waiting for. But that's not quite the whole story. Because then, you have the other side. A huge chunk of the readership just savaged it. The Buddy Book Club podcast did not hold back, calling it a literary dumpster fire and saying it read like a ChatGPT fever dream. Ouch. It got called nonsensical, disjointed, and just spectacularly bad. Okay, so that brings us to the big question here. How in the world could a team up between two of the heaviest hitters in the book world create a thriller that literally split its audience right down the middle? Was it brilliant, or was it just broken? The first clue to solving this whole mystery might actually be with the authors themselves. See, this wasn't just another co-authored book. It was a high-profile celebrity experiment in literature. And that, right there, comes with a mountain of expectations. So what were readers actually hoping for? Were they expecting this perfect blend of Witherspoon's deep, character-driven storytelling with Coben's trademark you-never-see-it-coming plot twists? Or, was it always going to be a kind of a strange mix of two very, very different brands? To really get what happened, we have to look at the ingredients. And wow, the contrast is pretty stark, isn't it? On one side, you've got Reese Witherspoon. Her entire brand is built on these thoughtful, emotional, character-focused stories. On the other side, you've got Harlan Coben, a thriller machine who is famous for his absolutely wild twists and gritty settings. So when reviewers pointed out that the final book had, and I quote, 99% Harlan Coben DNA, that was the first big red flag that maybe, just maybe, reader expectations were about to go off a cliff. And that super heavy dose of Coben style? Well, it leads us right to the book's most controversial element by far, the plot. For some people, it was this thrillingly complex, amazing ride. For a whole lot of others, it was just complete and utter gibberish. So, what was it about this particular story that could feel like a stroke of genius to one person and just a chaotic mess to the next? Well, it all comes down to these specific, and let's be real, pretty wild ingredients that got thrown into the narrative blender. And this slide just lays it out perfectly. The supporters, over on the left, they're describing a fast-paced roller coaster with unrelenting tension. But the critics, on the right, they saw the exact same story as a broken-down ride, a disjointed jigsaw puzzle full of nonsensical twists. It's like they were reading two totally different books. Okay, to really get the criticism, you have to hear what was actually in this plot. We're talking AI grief bots that let you talk to the dead, a massive conspiracy involving black market organs for oligarchs, a plastic surgeon who just, casually performs open-heart surgery, a biker dad named, and I'm not making this up, Porkchop, who somehow knows everything, and other characters with names like Cinderblock. These are the exact things reviewers pointed to as stretching believability way, way past its breaking point. But here's the thing, all of this criticism about the plot, it overlooks one crucial variable. The key to unlocking this whole mystery might not be in what people read, but in how they consume the story. And this right here is the core of what happened with Gone Before Goodbye. Your entire experience of this story seems to be fundamentally different depending on whether you picked up the physical book or you listened to the audiobook. The numbers really paint a clear picture. The general Goodreads score, which lumps in all the formats, sits at a pretty average 3.82. But if you look just at the audiobook experience, like in the review from That Happy Reader, the score shoots up to a 4.5 out of 5. That's not just a little bump, that is a massive difference in perception. And here is why. The audiobook wasn't just some person reading a book into a mic. It was a full-blown audio drama. It was performed by Reese Witherspoon herself, along with a full cast that included huge Hollywood stars like Chris Pine. This wasn't a book being read to you. It was basically a movie for your ears. So what does this all mean? Well, it suggests that the very things that felt like bugs in the written version, the outlandish plot, some of that clunky dialogue, they might have actually become features in the audio version. The chaos suddenly becomes cinematic. This brings us to what we can call the two books theory. The idea is that Gone Before Goodbye isn't one single book, it's two. As a written text, its wild plot and dialogue can feel jarring, maybe even unbelievable. But as a full cast audio production, it completely transforms into this immersive, over-the-top cinematic thriller where those exact same things feel exciting and totally intentional. So, which one is it? A work of genius or a spectacular failure? The really fascinating answer is that they both might be true. It just depends entirely on the medium. And it leaves us with this final, really important question for our modern age. What even is a book anymore?